No, I knit on my soubrette in the car. That's what I knit in the car. I'm gonna have to pull that out as an addendum segment so I can show you all that work that I did. My goodness. Anyway, squirrel. Hello, my name is Michelle, and this is Michelle's Fiber Studio podcast. Today is Monday, March 16th, and this is episode number 85. Well, hello on this very rainy Monday afternoon here in the state of Maine. We are having some cool and gray weather. Actually, I think it's supposed to get very, very windy tonight. Hopefully we don't lose power or have widespread power outages and flooding and all of that. Good old spring rains, gotta love them when the ground is very wet. But it is cold and it is raw, which is a switch because last week we had a couple of days of like high 60s. It was so beautiful. So that fall spring is always so hard to deal with, or the fall spring is great, but it's so hard to go back to the fact that we are still meteorologically still in winter and definitely not fully into spring yet. But at any rate, I am here and I'm going to take a few minutes to chat with you. It's going to be probably pretty quick. I had a very busy week last week, so I actually did not get a whole lot done in my projects, but I will share what I did get done. I do have a project that I am kind of starting to percolate on. I have a new addition to my yarn shelf. My Woolen Woman Fibers box came in actually just today, so it is hot off the mailbox press, as it were. So I have those segments to talk to you about. But before I start, let me talk about the sweater that I am wearing. This is the Daydream Believer by Mary Annarella of Lyrical Knits, one of my favorite designers. It is super fun. It's got this like lacy collar. I have like a little bit of a flutter sleeve going on there. So I knit this one. Oh, first of all, it is knit out of Knit Picks Lindy Chain in chocolate. Lindy Chain is a 70-30 linen cotton blend. So it's very kind of a lightweight sweater. It only has, if I stand up, it only has buttons that go down like halfway or 3/4, I guess, and kind of flares a little bit. It's a little more on the crop side, which I don't tend to make a lot of crop sweaters, but this one is. So I knit this one. I started it back in the spring of 2015 in May, and I did not complete it until August of 2016. It took me a hot minute to get it done, but it's actually not one that I pull out very often, and I probably should pull it out more because I really enjoyed wearing this one today. I had a scarf on, which I do a lot at this time of the year anyway, but I did take it off so you could get a full color effect and such. So that is what I am wearing. So let's take a look at what is going on in my project bag for this week. All right, again, I had a busy week, but let's talk about, how about my Imagination Quilt? I got a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and did not meet any of my goals that I would have liked to have met. You know what? It is what it is. The goals are just there as a starting point, something to shoot for, and I try to make them reasonable, but if they don't happen, they don't happen, because above all, this is just fun. This is not something I need to stress over. But at any rate, my Imagination Quilt, the Imagination Quilt is a crochet project by Meema Makes. It is designed for an Advent kit, and I am using my Advent that I opened this year. It is my Advent from Emma's Yarns. And I was working on, this is the third block, so I have, actually if I hold it this way, maybe it'll, there we go, now you can see it. So I have all of the horizontal seams done. I did one of the vertical and I still have 2 more vertical seams, and then the whole border. So my goal would have been to have completed this block last month, which I did not do, so, or last week. So maybe this week I can finish the sewing and get that border crocheted and maybe get part way through sewing another block. kind of just ongoing progress. As long as I'm moving forward, we're gonna call it good. So, yeah, so that's that one. The second project that I can talk to you about is my Aura Lapghan, which is by Toni Lipsey. This is another crochet project. And those are the hexies that I did last week. So I completed the blue ones that I didn't complete the week before. Are you sensing a theme? A little bit, huh? So let's show you the last of the blue. I still have ends to weave in these two. So they're a little bit slightly different. I really, really like these. Super fun snowflake kind of a design. And these two here. And then these two. So that is all of the blue ones that are now done. And I got two of the green. I thought I would move on and do green next. So yeah, you know, again, picking away is what it is. But they're fun. And I chose to do these right after doing the blue ones. So they worked up the snowflake. Again, another snowflake, but worked up fairly quickly and easily because I was already kind of in the swing of things. So that is those. Ideally, I would complete all the rest of the green ones this week. Well, ideally, I would have completed all of the rest of the blue and all of the green last week so that this week I could work on the purple, but we know that's not going to happen. So if I can get the rest of the green ones done, there's 14 green ones that I will consider that good. That would be kind of my goal for this week on that project. How about my Spooky Girl socks next? I took these with me on Tuesday. We went to see my son play in his winter concert in Orono. And so I was able to get a lot done on the sock. That's where I was. So I finished the whole rest of the leg and I did the first row of the cuff, the heel rather. And I need to get this done. Maybe tonight I can get the heel turned. Actually, if I can get the heel turned, I can take it with me. I've got a meeting tonight, a ladies meeting, and for church. So maybe I could bring this with me and work on the foot. But these are still on target. So even though by the end of last week I should have had the leg and the heel completed, this week the goal would be to have half of the foot. So if I can turn the heel today, I can work on the foot at Bible study on Wednesday, and I can actually usually get almost half of either the foot or the leg done during Bible study. So I'm considering this goal met, mostly. This is using the Spooky Girl Summer, which was my July, I'm pretty sure July or August, Woolen Woman Fibers yarn. And it came with this blue, and this purpley yarn rather, as well as the little blue mini skein, which is hiding in my cozy, but there we go. All right, we'll get this one tucked away. And I got one more project. I did some work on my Watercolor Cowl. I was not able to get anything done on the Soubrette this week, and I still haven't taken my sailing out either, but you know, that's okay. And this wasn't a ton, but I had an event Saturday morning, and I worked on this in the car mostly. Oh, and there's one other time I can share that I was working on this. So last week, that's where I was at. So I got, you know, an inch or so done, right? But it's a cowl. I'm really, again, liking this color and how these yarns are combining. It is a broken rib, essentially. I am using, so the yarn, let me talk about the yarn first. The yarn is Sandnes Garn Sisu. That would be this one. As well as Alpaca Yarn Company Halo in watercolors in Atlantis. So I am basing the pattern loosely off the Mistake Rib Cowl by Pearl Soho. That's a free pattern. And doing a slightly different pattern, but I wanted the stitch count for the cowl. So that's what I am using. And it's coming along. The other time that I was working on it, it's a little silly, but I have a merge game that I like to do on my iPad. And that particular game, when there's like special events that go on, a lot of times you'll be merging an item and then you can get bonuses. So the new item will be in a bubble, and if you watch the video, you get the new item for free. Most of the time I ignore it because they're like 30-second videos and I don't want to deal with sitting and watching a video every 10 seconds. But something I was doing this last week is I had my watercolor cowl sitting next to me, and when I was merging and then that would happen, I would accept the video, accept the bonus, and allow the video to play, and I would knit 20, 25 stitches on my cowl. And so it was kind of fun because I was able to get some work done on the cowl, get the extra bonuses. Like, yeah, you know, it worked. It was a nice little match. So that pretty much wraps up the projects that I've been working on. I'm still kind of trying to finalize the crochet chart, but I think I'm really close to being able to start it. I think I said that last week too, but so maybe, I'm actually thinking maybe this week I might be able to start it. I just want to go through one last time and see if there are some stitches that are like just one stitch amidst the whole thing, and can I switch that color for a different color so I'm not doing a lot of kind of confetti, cross-stitch confetti as it were. But I'm pretty close, and if I can get, again, the faces done, then I can still pick on the rest of it while I at least start cross-stitching on the faces. So that is where those projects are at this week. Well, I guess I have to insert this one because I totally forgot when I got this done. But this is my soubrette. Soubrette is by Mary Annarella of Lyrical Knits, same designer as the sweater that I am wearing. And the yarn is my Illimani Sabri. I've been talking about this, but I went and I moved my marker, but I got actually a lot done, and it was like down here. So it's on a short needle, so it's gonna be hard to see, but I did get all of the rest of the initial sleeve shaping, and now I have another batch of rows. I'm about halfway done the yoke. So it's not, here, how about if I hold it this way, right? It's coming. Slowly but surely. But I'm really liking the fabric that this is making, and I am excited to wear this one. I cannot wait. It's got this lovely detail on, and Mary Annarella does this on a lot of her sweaters. This one has something similar, but where you do something on the edging so that the edge is finished when the sweater is finished, and you don't have to do any kind of a band or anything. So there, I have squeezed this one in, and now I'm going to take you back to the rest of the podcast. I do have one project that I have been starting to think about. So I know I've talked in the past, I have another baby blanket that I need to make. My nephew and his wife are expecting, I think in the middle of July is the due date. And the baby shower is going to be happening in the middle of May. So I'm about 2 months out from the baby shower, and I know that my niece-in-law would like a baby blanket. So I want to use the same yarn, the Baby Bee, that, oops, not my Emma's yarns, but my Baby Bee that I'm using for my Aura Lapghan. So that's one reason I'm trying to push to get the hexies done, so I'll know what I have. But I decided to just kind of go diving and see what kind of projects I could find and what caught my eye. So I think the pattern that caught my eye this time around is the Waffle-icious blanket. It is by MJ's Off the Hook Designs. Do I still have it? I do. It is a $7 US pattern. Calls for DK weight yarn, so that yarn should work perfectly for it. And I think that'll be super fun. So it has 3 different colors. So I'm looking at the pattern here. I can't tell based on the picture. 1, 3. I think it's three different colors plus a neutral. So yeah, 3 colors plus a neutral. So I am looking at the colors that I currently have. I might see, because like I can kind of put those colors together. It'll take about a skein of each of the colored yarns and then probably 2 skeins of the neutral. So if I can decide what I'm doing, then I can always go and buy more yarn in those colors. But I probably can pretty well pick from what I have for the most part, because I now have a pretty good range of at least leftovers of those yarns with all the different projects that I've done. And I might start playing with that and think about that. I really don't want to get it started until I complete a few more things, but at the same time, it might be good to get that one on the hook. But again, once that one's on the hook, some of my other projects are going to take a back seat, like my Aura Lapghan. So I would really prefer to at least get all the hexes done on the Aura Lapghan before I start that one. But we shall see how long I can hold off on that one. I do still have a little bit of time. If I have to, I can do a baby blanket in about 2 to 3 weeks, working pretty hard at it. So I probably have about a month before I really need to start panicking. Okay, panicking might be a little much, but I probably can afford to wait a couple of weeks and see how much further into the Aura Lapghan I get before I get that one started. So that is what is currently in my project dreams. You guys are in for a treat because fresh out of the mailbox, I just received my March Woolen Woman Fibers box delivery. So if you have not yet received yours, or you have, and for some unknown reason you haven't opened that box yet, then you might want to skip ahead to the next segment because I'm going to show it off. All right, that is your spoiler alert. So this month's theme is stitches and sprinkles, and I do believe that Woolen Woman Fibers is celebrating a birthday this month. I can't remember how many years. The number 7 is coming to my mind, but I could be totally pulling that out of who knows where. But I'm pretty sure that this is kind of a birthday celebration, as it were. So, Stitches and Sprinkles. We have a Stitches and Sprinkles glazed donut candle. I can't wait to burn this one. It is butter, maple, and vanilla. And it does smell like butter, maple, and vanilla. It's so good. I love their candles. Really, really am enjoying them. I think I've said that before. There is a glazed, sprinkles. The scent is maple sugar. Full wash bar. So I got quite a few of these now. And I am enjoying using those. I have from Sam's Tiny Trinkets these adorable little stitch markers. It came with these. I'm gonna make sure I get their faux leather donut needle stoppers. And I am a little unclear on how these are supposed to be used. And I've got, this one has Woolen Woman fiber on the back. I don't know if the thought is that you would take your needles, and go like this, I suppose. Oh, maybe. Do you bend it? Ah, yes. That would be why there are 2. That is super cool. Oh, I kind of like that. Look at that. I'm going to leave them right there. Excellent. And so that comes in 2 sizes. This one obviously would hold bigger needles. I'm going to set that right there so I can keep it handy. I have a donuts and sprinkles little tote bag. Look how cute that is. That is super fun. I might have to switch my watercolor cowl into this one. That would be a lot of fun for that. So, all right, are you ready for the yarn? The best part, right? I made you wait for it. It's so good. Love these colors. Oh, look how fun. This is definitely going to be a shawl or a cowl, not even a cowl, probably a little shawlette. I don't think, well, it would be about 500 yards. There might be enough for a good size little shawl, but can't you just see this ivory and like stripes kind of like mixed in? So there's the tag. Oh, so pretty. Just really great pinks and purples, like really, really pretty. Oh, there we go. So this was fun to come home to. I had a very busy and exhausting weekend, which I will tell you about my next segment. But so this is a really lovely little treat to start my week off with. Finally, that brings me to this week's day today. I recorded on Monday, so Tuesday, my husband and I drove up to Orono. Our youngest son, who is a college senior, had his winter concert. They do 2 concerts in the semester, and this was the first of the 2. So he has a second one in April. So we drove up there so we could see the concert, and this one is called Concert for a Cause. And it's really quite cool because they partner with a couple of the area schools. So there's a middle school and then a high school, and then you have the college level. So the 3 different bands play. They each do 3 numbers, and then they do the entire ensemble. It was more than 200 musicians do one final number together. So it's really, really cool. And as a school counselor, it's like, oh my gosh, what an amazing opportunity for these kids, the middle school in particular, but even the high school kids, to be on a college campus, to partner with college kids and create this night of music. And then they don't charge, but it is a donation to whatever cause that they are supporting. And so this year, or the last several years, actually the last 3 years, it has been the Area Humane Society. But this year they did, I think Penquist is the name of the organization. It's kind of like a, community concepts, Habitat for Humanity. They don't build things, but like it's a social services network of an organization that really connects people with the services that they need. They do Thanksgiving food drives, turkeys, Christmas gifts, all kinds of different things. So at any rate, so that was the organization that was the beneficiary for this year's concert. So I brought my socks and I knit them I actually did. I am totally getting distracted. I didn't think I knit on my soubrette, but no, I knit on my soubrette in the car. That's what I knit in the car. I'm going to have to pull that out as an addendum segment so I can show you all that work that I did. My goodness. Anyway, squirrel. So I worked on my sock during the concert, and I got all of the rest of the leg done, so that was good. It was a beautiful, beautiful day. I think the high was like 72. It was so gorgeous. We had the windows open. We didn't even take coats. I had a sweatshirt on, and which was plenty for the drive. And then it got cold again. But so that was on Tuesday. We got home like at 10:30 at night, though. That was the only downfall. It was a long, long day, but it was worth it. Let's see. Wednesday was we chilled out. Thursday, I had a Odyssey of the Mind board meeting. We met at our local high school, which is where the state tournament is going to be in a few weeks, and we did a walkthrough, but that took up my evening. Friday, my son got home from college for spring break, and so that was super cool. And he's here all of this week. And then we had a heck of a weekend. So Saturday morning was the judges training for the Odyssey of the Mind tournament, so we were busy with that. Saturday late afternoon and into the evening, we were visiting with my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law, but my sons and my husband were helping my sister-in-law to empty out her storage locker, so that way she could let that go. So that took up, so we were there earlier, so there was not a lot of turnaround from the time we got home from the judges training to when we left, so that could happen. And then on Sunday after church, we helped my oldest son move into his apartment, and we still have more to do. But he is there, he has the important things, and we were helping him to get set up and situated, but we finally, around 7:45, called it for the evening, and relaxed, did a phone call with my daughter who is in New York, or video call, so that was that. So yeah, I did not have a lot of extra knitting time, and the knitting time that I did have, I kind of squeezed in here and there. So I think that pretty much covers us for this week. So I thank you so very much for joining me. If you enjoy this podcast, do hit the like button and subscribe so you know when I post something new. I will have links down below in the show notes for all of the things that I have talked about. With that, I hope you have a fantastic week and happy knitting.